In the boxes, we've got the set from Ayato Takata in Japan.
Finding a cure for viruses has been Dr. Erica Ullman Safire's mission in life. For the last 10 years, she's focused on finding a cure for one of the world's most lethal viruses at the Scripps Research Institute.
We do work for years, and it's difficult work, and the people that work in these spacesuit labs, it's dangerous work. And this is exactly everything you work for. Moments like seeing Dr. Kent Brantley get up and walk out of that ambulance into the hospital.
Experts believe the first Ebola case that started the epidemic was a 2-year-old living in Guinea who died after being sick for 4 days last December. What started as just a handful of cases in Guinea in March quickly spread to neighboring Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Nigeria. This year alone, more than 1,200 people have died from the disease. Even as the worst Ebola outbreak in history was unfolding, MAP Biopharmaceutical in San Diego, a small company with just 9 people, had worked alongside with Sapphire in developing ZMAP and was testing a serum aimed at curing Ebola.
We have always feared this. It's a rare virus. We're thankful it's rare, but it does break out nearly every year or two somewhere in Africa. It's just always been one remote village before, not a large population center.
The serum was created from 3 antibodies, a combination that ZMAP, the United States Army Medical Research Institute, along with the Public Health Agency of Canada, came up with to kill the virus.
And they wondered if instead of offering one by itself as a treatment, if they could combine 3 into what's called a cocktail, if it would be more effective to fight the virus 3 different ways at the same time.
2 of the antibodies block the virus from attacking your healthy cells, while the 3rd antibody helps your immune system get rid of the infected cells.
This is a good proof of concept. So this is the best we could make from this small group of collaborators working together that we've been working together for 10 years.
Here's where it gets really fascinating. The serum is actually grown in tobacco leaves, which have been modified.
The way it's made is through a trick of biotechnology. They coax tobacco leaves to produce this antibody, just to be a factory to make the drug. And then they harvest the tobacco leaves. These are in special protected greenhouses. They harvest the tobacco leaves and put them into essentially a giant juicer, and then they can purify the antibody from the juice.
The virus is named after the Ebola River in Africa, where one of the first outbreaks happened almost 40 years ago. The virus spreads from animals to people, from infected tissue or fluids. There are 5 different kinds of the Ebola virus. With no vaccine, treatment, or cure, it may be a death sentence for those who become infected. Up to 90% of those who have it die. With those odds, the government decided to give ZMAP, which hasn't been proven to work in people just yet, to 2 American missionary workers infected with Ebola.
The FDA has what's called a 2-animal rule. If it works well in 2-animal models and there's a desperate emergency, they can sometimes approve things for compassionate use. And so this would fall under that category. I would take it myself in a heartbeat. I have studied this for 10 years. I know what's in it. I know how it works. It's a terrific treatment option.
An option that won't be available for at least 3 to 6 months when another batch is produced. MAP ran out of its entire supply. They only had about 10 vials of the serum because they didn't expect to start clinical trials in humans until next year. What they had was sent to 5 countries. Along with allowing the use of an unapproved Ebola therapy, the FDA also approved a new blood test for emergency use, which tells doctors if someone has the virus in just 2 hours. The wait used to be 1 to 2 days for other methods of testing. While Sapphire's hopeful ZMAP is a cure, her team's work with Ebola continues.
This is a great start to develop either better ZMAP cocktails or a slightly different ZMAP cocktail that can work for lots of different patients.
Just a few months ago, the Scripps Research Institute received a $28 million grant for a global collaboration to try and come up with an even better ZMAP cocktail that could one day help stop the spread of Ebola.
We can still improve the cocktail in other ways because we want to be able to not only be able to cure after someone's been infected, but perhaps be able to give them that serum before they even get infected.
Kaushal Patel, UTTV.